What to do? What it is? Bow, bow, bow. Boop, boop, boop. Grrr. Bow, 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 bow. Grrr. Bow. What it do? What it is? Y'all, your girl Black Pop, aka Soda Baby, aka Asuka. You're now tuning into So Talk TV. I know it's been a while. I'm a little bit late on the media news, but I ain't gonna hold you. 2022 hit. It's like life slapped me in the face. And you know, that tends to happen sometimes. So it's like, you gotta do what you gotta do, balance what you gotta balance, and keep it moving. So how you been feeling? How you doing? I wish I had a question of the day, but I might save that for when I get back on camera. Ooh, because I feel like I might want to show my face a little more. And I'll be explaining why I've been in hiding. But anyway, let's get into these hot topics. First on the docket, we have Megthestallion versus Tory Lanez. So we found out that their trial date starts on April 5th. And since then, Megthestallion and Tory Lanez have been having a lot of drama on the internet, to the point that Party got into it with Tory Lanez. And as big and brolic Party is, that just wouldn't be a fair fight, because Party will fold his ass like a goddamn chair. However, Tory Lanez has been known to have been going around slapping the shit out of niggas. He slapped the shit out of Travis Scott once upon a time. And I feel like he has had a violent past, a phase of where he was doing a lot of fighting and getting in trouble. And it quieted down, allegedly. And since the whole internet drama, Megan has been revealing that she's been getting death threats since Tory did what he did to her. And here's what Tory had to say in a few tweets about the situation. Tory says, "Good had me 2 best friends and I got caught. That's what I apologize for. It's sick how you spun it though." Megan says, "2 best friends? You pop me. You know what you apologizing for. You keep putting out narrative that me and my friend fell out about you, and that's not true. Why you skipping over the popping? Just admit you popped me, because she definitely ain't do it, and I ain't pop my damn self." And we still haven't heard from Kelsey yet, because usually she'll come out with a couple subtweets when this case reheats. But I guess she decided to sit this one out. DJ Akademiks also got involved, and he got into a heated argument with Megthestallion because he leaked information from court. And at this point, I'm just torn, because there's a reason why people are rallying behind Tory Lanez. You know, people like Akademiks, Joe Budden, and even the baby to a certain extent. And it's just so interesting how they all have one thing in common: getting hot and heated and violent with women. You know what they say? Birds of a feather flock together. And the way these men are rallying behind Tory is as if the industry knows something that we don't know. But at the same time, I can't excuse Tory for being innocent, because Megan still got popped with Tory's gun. And with Tory still being there as a witness and a suspect, just lets me know that he's in on this whole thing. He's in on the plot twist of it all. Nobody's coming forth and saying who it was. Why? Because it's not about what's true, it's about what you can prove. Of course you're going to try and cover it up by calling her your friend and this and that. If that's your friend, then how about you just tell the truth and be a real friend of who did it if it wasn't you? And I remember when this story first broke and Megan was on silent and she was on watch, but Tory was so vocal in all of the blogs, and his publicist and his team was trying to get in front of the blogs to change the story of the narrative, and it just was really inconsistent with how the stories were changing, to the point that it became the straw that broke the camel's back, and Megan was forced to come out and say something because she was so quiet. Remember when she did that live with her in the green hair? And there also is audio of the security guard saying what happened and saying that Tory and Kelsey were fighting over the gun. And my question is, why were y'all two fighting over the gun? Why was it even out? Because Megan was already out the car walking away. So what are y'all fighting for the gun for? Because it takes a lot of energy to even have the gun out to quote unquote accidentally pop someone. It takes a lot of energy to have the gun out, cock the gun, and shoot it. Talking about some accidentally. That's what you have security for. And if Megan just so happens to lose this case, she's not canceled to me, because at the end of the day, she still got shot. Had that bullet, hit her a little bit closer to any bones and tendons, she wouldn't be able to walk again. And she doesn't owe Tory Lanez no damn apology. She don't owe nobody no apology. Why? Because if you were so innocent, why couldn't you just help her out and get the justice that she needed if you care so much about black women? Which brings me to my next question. And the question is Megan Thee Stallion a superstar? Recently on the Joe Budden podcast, Joe Budden had a few strong opinions about what he thinks a superstar is and what level Megan may be on. He says that Megan Thee Stallion is not a superstar. You're not a superstar if you can't sell an album. One could argue that he possibly has a point. I could see when it comes to numbers, I guess you could say that. But when it comes to influence and wave and giving us a new look and a new trend, if it came down to that and actually being a rapper's rapper, she's a star. I would say she is more of a hood star, black Bob, and potting me if the cockiness bother me. Yeah, I'm just being Nicki Minaj, girl from around the way without the L Cool J. You spit Kool-Aid, we spit acid out. Doing this since we was 3 rock classic out. I'm sorry, I had to hit that. I can't completely agree with Joe, but I feel like it's arguable because the number one consumers of music, people that actually buy it, are white people. And secondly, really mainly, it's colorism. Like, let's be clear. If we gave Sweetie Megan's career with the way Megan raps and all the people she's been able to work with, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, and so on and so forth, with 4 Grammys, we would be talking about how Sweetie is the second coming since Nicki Minaj. The same way we champion Cardi B. And unfortunately, in this music industry, it's about being palatable. And Megan, to me, she is a rapper's rapper, but her sound is just not diverse enough. And even if we talk about SZA, who to me is definitely a superstar and who is darker than Megan, it's different rules when it comes to singing versus rap. But when it comes to female rap, emphasis on the female, heavy on female rap, because there was a reason why Gunna was able to outsell The Weeknd. When it comes to female rap, it's about how palatable your look and your sound is. Because when it comes to men, it doesn't matter what you look like. It's about what you look like with women. And Megan is mainly going to be able to sell to the urban audience because she's hood and she's country as a mother. And in the reality of it all, having a hood persona, the sky is not the limit. There's a ceiling for that, because as talented as Asian Doll is, there's a reason why she's not mainstream how I feel like she could be. There's a reason why Omeretta is not mainstream how she could be. There's a reason why Mulatto is not mainstream like that, but she's very popular. She's very hot. There's a reason why Erica Banks there's a ceiling for all of those girls. The sky is not the limit unless they know how to get more diverse in their sound, because the sound is very hood. It's still gonna get played around the world, but it just is what it is. I don't make up the rules. I just observe them and see who's winning and why. And even Dreezy, like I remember when Dreezy dropped her first album, No Hard Feelings, I did not know Dreezy could really sing like that. And the way the industry did her was so wrong, because even the album after that, the Big Drees album, was amazing. Like, it really hurt my feelings that she didn't reach her potential that she could have, but it's because of how the music industry does, how hip-hop does. It's about colorism and palatability, if that's a word. Well, for females mainly. And also how sexy you are, how feminine you can be. Because we may not see Young M.A., but Young M.A. is one of the most underrated female rappers of our time. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with trap music, with the hood persona, but that has a seal on it. You're not going to get past a certain audience, and if you do, it's not going to be a lot, especially when you're a female rapper. And if you ask me, after Cardi B, I didn't know that there was another level of ratchet ass entertainment. You know, to me, I feel like she kind of gave birth to Sukihana, because I didn't know there was another level of this till her. And yes, we had Cupcake, but you know, it worked for Sukihana a little bit better because her personality and willing to alter her look. And even with Cardi B, she's still very hood when it comes to her music, but because she's caliente Latina mami, you know, she's able to reach other audiences, and that's on period. And of course, with her palatability, I'm making up words today, but that's what I'm observing from this whole situation. And the same way music does not get sold the same way how it used to, we don't listen and process and digest music how we used to. And I feel like one of my biggest mistakes in judging music that I've made is not giving it enough time to grow. And there's a few records and artists that I just wrote off and said, oh, they're still on the same stuff, only to go back to their album like a week later and be like, oh my God, I love this song. Like Nicki Minaj, Seeing Green, that's going to be a classic. Like I recently was listening to it, I'm like, damn, this is Nicki's best verse up to date, in my opinion. And another artist I felt like I wrote off too soon was Gunna, because I'm listening to DS4 now and I'm like, damn, I only gave that 24 hours to process whether it's a good album or not, only to come back and fall in love with Flooded and fall in love with other songs that's on there. And you know, sometimes good songs don't, you know, there's those songs that they're hits off the rip, and then there's songs that grow on you. Even Me and You by Gunna and Chloe is like one of my most favorite songs now. And before I was like, oh, they ruined the classic, but I do feel like the song is too short, but it's actually, I love that song. And even Drake said in an interview himself, with him knowing how this works, the first day they'll say it's trash, but then a week later they're in love with the song, and it just grows over time. So let me know what y'all think in the comments. What you think about this ongoing saga with Megthestallion and Tory Lanez? Who do you believe? And what do you think is a superstar in your eyes? And who's your favorite underrated artist or rated artist? Follow me at It's Black Pop. So to talk to me on my backup page. We're going to this next video.